Hello, we are back again in the studio, as you can see. And today I want to talk about high-end audio. So what is if I tell you that you can make a high-end loudspeaker with roughly $160 or 160 euros, something like that? You would think, is that possible? Well, it's possible. So how? In the German-speaking YouTube, there is a channel that is called Snake Oil Audio. It's actually a jewel of a channel, and the guy doing that, he has an unbelievable knowledge about high-end audio. He knows really so many things, unbelievable. So when I watched this, he was talking about some French crazy people who did meet in the 70s to build up a loudspeaker that is with the most minimalistic you can imagine, but sounds so great that if a person would maybe listen before to 100,000 euro, dollar, whatever audio equipment, then sits to this loudspeaker, would just say, oh wow, that sounds so great. Snake Oil Audio told the story about this project. It's called Petit, French called for the small one. And I just was amazed, and I thought, wow, just this this membrane in a small loudspeaker sounds so well. I have to make it. I have to do it. I want to know. I want to hear. So this project wraps around this membrane from Fostex. This is some kind of, I don't know, Japanese. Although I didn't know Fostex is a Japanese brand. The membrane is called FE103NV. The NV is the new version. Actually, in the 70s, they did use the FE103 Sigma, but the Sigma version is not available anymore. So we have to use the newer version, of course. So what is the difference of this chassis with this loudspeaker to the normal loudspeaker you will maybe know from the shop, or what you have at home, with a two-way or three-way loudspeaker with high tweeter, tone tweet, the bass chassis? This loudspeaker is a full range loudspeaker. That means only one membrane will deliver the whole spectrum of the sound. The interesting thing on this membrane is it's extremely light. It's kind of banana fiber. That means if the amplifier is high-end, this membrane will exactly deliver the sound that comes through the cables. There is no frequency crossover that will swallow any sounds or will reduce the quality. It's just pure. The two cables from the amplifier will go straight in here, and it has an extremely well-built, perfect developed housing. Yeah, so this, I have to make this. I'm really keen to build that and to listen to it. So I will give you share the informations that the French developed in the 70s, and let's build the thing together, or shall we? So what do we need next? A plan. We need a plan. So you have a bit understanding of the size of the loudspeaker. I will just build it a bit temporary here, so you can have a bit of feeling how the dimensions of the loudspeaker are. This is the baffle. Stay. And the top. And the bottom are here. Yeah. So, and then we have here this thing. So this is the loudspeaker. And we have in addition here the front, another 25 millimeter additional piece at the baffle. So when we look here at the size and the thickness of the front, you will immediately see this is 5 centimeters thick. That's really very strong. We have here the chassis for the loudspeaker, and we have here a 7 centimeter hole for the bass reflex tube. So, the next step, I will draw the holes, and then we cut the holes. Then we can finally cut wood. Yeah, I think first of all I must thank Hiraga. He designed this sophisticated cabinet 1979, and I hope he can forgive me being called a crazy French. But let's not forget that this was his ideas, sweat and craftsmanship that gives us now this interesting trip to build a loudspeaker that is so famous. For all of you who would like to see the plan, here's the plan again, to take the measures, look them, note them down. What we cannot see in this plan is the arrangement of the panels. That's why I did show you before how the panels are put in my case. But when we look at the original picture, we can also see the choice of wood. It's MDF. And we can see the original arrangement where the front baffle is surrounded by the side walls and the top and the bottom. And I think this arrangement is relatively good because it gives stability to the front baffle. And the arrangement of the boards like that is also making it for us much easier to build it, to glue it together without special machines. What we also need to think about is the inner dampening. I want to go here very close to the original. Jean Hiraga did dampen the cabinet with felt, 1 centimeter thick felt with 1500 gram per square meter. And it was not so easy for me to find this felt here, so I found online some kind of felt for handicraft. This is a 3 millimeter layer with 300 gram per square meter. So I put 3 layers of 3 millimeter on each other. Then you have it's always a bit wider than in real. So you really come close to the 1 centimeter width you need. And with the 900 gram per square meter, 3 times 3 is 9. I'm okay because it's maybe not perfect to the original, but close enough in my case. Another idea I also want to give you, maybe to find the wood. The MDF in this thickness is not so easy, so I didn't find it in any shop, in any market. So I did order it online, maybe not the cheapest way, but easier to get what you really need. But of course you can also choose different wood. Multiplex is definitely a good idea, it's maybe more stable. And if you change the thickness, you just need to see that the inner volume stays the same. You can change the thickness of the wood, but I would definitely recommend you to do it as thick as the original, because the thickness, the 2-inch baffle in the lower side, makes it gives a big part of the sound in the end. If the walls are too thin, the sound will definitely suffer. So I hope you enjoyed this video, although I'm today really confused like a professor, I have the feeling. But next step is to go handicraft, to build something, to go further, and see you there then again.